Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 32 in my Automate Everything Minecraft series. In today's episode, I am going to be looking at kind of updating my rail system, and that's because the throughput that I am getting in my rail system is not enough. I am literally making too many items for my rail system to be able to handle. Now, I've actually done half of it already, and it took a few hours to figure out exactly how to do it, and here's kind of what I came up with. It's basically a switching system to get the carts to go to an empty lane in which they are unloaded. Fuel is loaded into them, and then ores are loaded into them, and then they are sent on their way. But anyways, these tracks right here are automatically flipped with some redstone wizardry underneath. And I say that, I shouldn't actually say that because I'm not super great at redstone, but here it is. Here's kind of the redstone behind it. And basically what's happening is I have these toggle switches for each track, and when a train comes along, it hits this first detector track right here, and it toggles this to be switched by the redstone underneath, and the redstone torches underneath actually are able to toggle these. And so, for example, there's a train coming along, and we saw this flip. It did allow it to go in, but the next train that comes along will not be able to go into this first lane, it will go into the second lane. And that's because once it's this detector tracked, it toggles the switch underneath, and it causes this rail to switch. Now, once the cart is done with this lane, it hits this detector track, which toggles this track back the other way, and then another cart can come along and come into this lane. So what I'm going to do this episode is I'm going to essentially rebuild this system, or something very similar, at the other end of this track. So let's grab a few things. First off, we will need plenty of redstone stuff, so let's grab some redstone blocks. I should only need six of these, but let's grab a bunch just in case. We also will need a bunch of torches, so let's grab a bunch of those. Let's also grab some stone. Let's grab some facades, and I need my bucket of water back. I don't know when I lost it, but I lost it. Okay. So some facades. I forgot my redstone wire, or conduit. Let's make some more of this, because that's not going to be enough. So while that's cooking up, let's see, what else do we need? We need some rails, obviously. So let's grab a bunch of those. We'll need, I think, 12 advanced detector rails and 12 detector rails, so that should be perfect. We will need a Yeta wrench, and let's actually grab some more conduits. And we're still waiting on this to be crafted. Crud. Oh well, I can run back here once I need that. So let's. Oh, I also need pistons. I'm glad that sounded, because that kind of triggered me. I need those pistons. And let's see, is there anything else I need? I will need some item conduit, so let's grab some item conduit as well. I may need some speed upgrades for the item conduits. Essentially, the speed upgrades just allow more items to go through, or to be grabbed per operation, because it works on the extracting end. Anyways, so let's see if we have any more of this conduit. Let's grab that, and then we can run over to our other side of the ore processing facility. So here it is, and actually I do need to expand that, but I can do that off camera. It's just a simple matter of making more lines of pulverizers, because right now the system is kind of overwhelmed. Oh, I forgot to block that up. Anyways, that needs to be blocked up. So what we're going to do is we are going to build a rail system in this room that I have dug out, and the redstone stuff will be in the room underneath that I've dug out. So let's get started exactly how we're going to lay this out. And I kind of have it plotted out a little bit. So let's go ahead and get rid of these, because I kind of know how we're going to do this. First off, let's make another loop, and it will be something like this. Okay, so that's cool. And then we're gonna have tracks like so. And I can't remember if I go all the way. Yes, I do. I do go all the way to then. Cool. So basically, we're gonna have 7 parallel tracks right here, and 6 of them will essentially be for loading and unloading, and then the 7th one will be a essentially return track. So before we actually get rid of these blocks, I am going to go ahead and place down a essentially key set of these. And actually, I need to place down the facades. Actually, no, I don't. I don't need to do the facades yet because I actually need to do the redstone blocks first. And I see that these are actually just out of the room over there. So what we can do is, because the room underneath is actually a different size. Okay, so yeah, we'll need to dig out too, unfortunately. I kind of made this a pain. I should have made the basement underneath the same size, but I didn't. Actually, it might be easier just to dig those out from underneath. Anyways, so I'm digging these out first because I need to place the redstone like so. Let's actually do these as well, because I won't be able to access them quite as I need from the bottom, at least not the first time around. And to be honest, I don't need this one, but I'm gonna place it anyways, because this last one will not be able to reject carts. If I do have the last lane be able to reject carts, because I don't have like a cycling lane, the carts will just come along if it's rejected from all the lanes, and it will loop back and go back to the other base without dropping off of its supplies, which is not ideal. So I'm gonna place this down, but I'm not actually gonna hook it up yet. And let's go ahead and do these as well. And actually, I do kind of need to do this. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to take my Yeta wrench. I need to right click. It needs to be an input, and we can do red for these. Input red, input red, input red. And then these over here can be green. Cool. Now what I can do is I can grab my facades and I can put these guys on, and then I can put detector tracks on top. Like so. And these will just be for my toggling mechanism. Okay, so now that I have those, let's get the advanced detectors laid down, and they will go right here and here. Let's just go ahead and rip all of these up. Oh, I forgot cargo managers. Oh, I didn't even know I could do that. Whoops. That would have made things easier. Can I do it with the regular rails as well? Yes, I can. Cool. I didn't even know that. That is nice to know, actually. So lastly, these need to be connected up, and they actually need to go the other way. And I think if I do this right, I can have this work out. I just need to lay them in the right order. Cool, that should work. So once the carts are done with the lanes, they will come out, they will cycle this way. And then they will go here. Okay. To be honest, I don't really need this track right here. So I can do something like that. Okay, so now that I have all this set up, let's go back and let's grab my cargo managers real fast. I do know I need those. I need... Let's just grab 20. I know I don't need that many, but that way we have some spares. Okay, I actually think I only need 12. Okay, they're all done. Okay, so let's set those up. And those will actually... I haven't actually tested this out, but I think it'll work if I put them actually on both sides of the advanced detector tracks. In my loading station, I only have one of them per each. Like, I have every other row just empty. So, like, I actually have them set up like this. But I think it should work fine if I have them here as well. So now I actually have to set these guys up. So what we're going to do is this first row right here will be for the unloading. And so let's do that. Okay, so the blue side needs to be unloading, so this needs to be blue. The rest needs to be disabled. And then I need to be from the chest, and it needs to be from the cart. And then this one actually doesn't have the second side being used, but this one will be blue and yellow. So let's set up blue, yellow, and then the others disabled. And then once again, we will need to do the chests, and then from the cart to this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the rest of these 4. Actually, let's set up all of them. And then this row back here will be loading. It will be loading the finished products. So I need to be on the blue side once again. And then the other 3 for this particular one needs to be disabled. It needs to be to the chest, and it needs to be to it. So this one needs to be blue and yellow, with the other ones, other colors disabled. It needs to be to the chest. Okay, so I'm going to set up the rest of these off camera, and that won't take but just a few minutes, but I don't need to do it 8 more times. So I will be right back after I have that done. Now that I have all of the cargo managers configured correctly, I need to actually be able to get the items in and out of these guys. So let's grab the item conduit that I have, and shoot, I'm going to need more of this. I know that. So let's run over to my other base real fast. I don't know why I didn't think of this, but let's grab some more conduit here. Let's see, can we make... Okay, so that should be enough. So I don't want to actually change where I export to. I have this modular storage system set up, and I actually have a little timer mechanism set up back here, and that works really, really well. I have this mechanism set up because if I were to export directly into here, and for whatever reason, if I actually was able to catch this system up, what happens is that you start exporting individual items really, really quickly into this. But the cargo manager isn't very good at actually getting them to the cart unless you're dealing with entire stacks of items. So I have this little system set up right here, this timer system, so that part of the time that this item conduit is actually not active. So what happens is eventually you get full stacks of items in here rather than a bunch of individual items that get taken to the cargo manager really quickly. So it just works a whole lot better because the cargo manager is always giving the carts full stacks of items instead of trying to give it 1 or 2 items at a time. That just takes a lot of time, and the carts spend way, way longer than they need to, stopped waiting to get filled by the cargo manager. So we're going to basically just take this And I'm going to run it all the way over. Just gonna run the item conduit. And you know what? Let's actually run it along this wall here. And that will be going to these guys right here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it in this wall along up here, and then it's going to make a turn. Then as it's needed, let's go down here. Actually, I need to... Okay, so the redstone is right here. The track is right above. So this should be the first cargo manager, and this should be the second. Okay, so I have everything correct. Cool. So that's 3, 4... Oh, shoot. So I actually should replace this real fast. And this is just a block of stone. Okay, let's retrieve those torches because we do need those. And then let's run this item conduit. And we can facade some of this up. Some of it I'm not going to worry about at all. Okay, so these need to be inserts. Let's actually worry about these first. Okay, so now let's just run this along the top here. And then once we connect it up, we should start seeing items flow into the second cargo managers there, which are the loading cargo managers. Okay, so that should be good. We should start seeing items unless they're flowing into here, and they're not. So let's see here. Are we getting anything? Did I miss one? Insert. These are all insert. Is this all connected? It looks alright. So we should be getting items at some point. Oh, maybe it's not active at this point. Ha! Duh. That redstone trigger. Yeah, it's totally not active right now. So that's why we're not getting any items. Anyways, that should work. I'm going to really just hope it works. So the next thing we need to do is we need to get the items out of these cargo managers and into the applied energistic system. So let's see exactly how we have this set up. We can actually get some ME conduits, and let's run over to our other base and get some of that. Yes, this right here. We have plenty of it. Let's grab some more item conduit as well. And then let's get rid of cobblestone. We do have plenty of facades, it looks like. So we should be able to make everything look nice and tidy here at the end. Anyways, what I want to do is grab some of this conduit and just run this parallel to the item conduit right here. Okay, so right here should be good. Let's run over. And then our holes should, for the other cargo managers, should be right here. And actually, I need some sort of storage device. I don't have one currently on me. I also need an import bus. So let's run over to the other base and get an import bus. and some modular storage. So modular storage, let's test out that this actually has a, yes it does, has a storage module. And then we need an import bus. 4 cards will be helpful. And then let's grab some covered cable as well. I think I'm using the blue variant over here, so we'll use the blue variant again. So what I can do is, let's actually place this right here. Let's place the import bus right here with its cards, and then we will need the covered cable to connect it up like so. And then we can take our item conduit and we actually need to wrench this. That needs to not be connected. Actually, I do need to throw some speed upgrades into here, and I have some right here, but I'm not going to use them for this purpose. I was actually going to use them for essentially that over there, but I already have them in there, and I think I'm just going to use what I already have over there as far as the item extraction into the cargo managers, because I already have it set up. So let's just, oh shoot, hook this up. And I think I actually need these to be always on. I know they always need to be always on. So let's do that real fast. Always active. And even without the speed upgrades, this might give the throughput that we need. I'm not entirely sure though. Okay, always active. And then this needs to be an input. Okay, that should be cool. That should all function correctly. Now the last thing we need to do is the redstone. So let's start on that. So we will need to run 6 lines like this to start out with. Okay, that's good. Oh, that's not gonna be easy. Okay, so that's gonna be difficult. I guess if it wants to be difficult, we can do that. And then I'm gonna block this up real fast. Okay, back to it. Cool, and then I think this is the last one. It really looks like I'm gonna need more of this conduit. Yes I am. So what I'm gonna do real fast is I'm going to go back, get some more redstone conduit, and then finish those, and then I will be right back. Now that I have all of my redstone conduit routed, I do need to start placing the redstone torches and things to actually convert these rails over. Now these are the default positions, and they are actually opposite of what I need them to be. So let's actually, to make this easier, we'll get this first corner here so that I know exactly where it is. And then what we'll do is we need 6 of them, so that's 6. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place some real stone right here, and on top of the stone is going to be redstone torches. And actually I'm going to do it one more time. Yes, like this. So essentially we'll have 2 inversions because of how I'm using the redstone torches. So let's go ahead and install the actual torches here. And as we place the bottom torches, the top torches go out because that's how redstone inversion works, or how the torches work. So now we need to make sure to have enough, that we have enough space to actually place the toggle switches. So I think let's do every other one on this side and then every other one on the other side, kind of like how I have at my other area. And then we need to grab our redstone dust, do something like this. So like I said, by default, the top torches actually need to be on. So we need to keep that in mind as we set these up. So by default, the redstone blocks need to be in the areas I'm actually going to place them. Boom. So now let's grab our pistons and set them up. This is going to be a little bit cramped, but I think we'll have enough space. I really hope I have enough space. Anyways. So now I need to grab a bunch of redstone conduits and do this. And then do the same thing over here. In addition, because I'm using the red here, and because once this block is pushed over, this will connect, we actually need to kind of manually disconnect these. So when it's pushed over, it will not reconnect if I do it like this. What I mean is, let's actually show what I mean. I have a lever with me, so that's cool. So once I push this redstone block over, it will connect right here. So if I disconnect it right here, once it's pushed over, it will reconnect. But if I do that, it won't. So let's actually push that back, because that's where it needs to be default. And then disconnect, disconnect. Okay, cool. Now what I need to do is I need to separate the redstone lines here, and I can do that just with my wrench right here. So this needs to be one system, this needs to be one system, and then this is one system. And I need to do the same thing over here. And then I also need to get rid of the extra redstone blocks. So like I said, by default they need to be on. So the blocks need to be there. Cool. Now let's actually start setting this up. So this first line right here will be triggered by this. Actually, you know what? What I really need to do is not die. Well, that makes things difficult. What I'm trying to do is make myself a ledge down here, because I actually need to use my wrench and I need to manually connect the pistons. Cool. It's not a pitfall. Okay, so right here. And I don't know why they're reconnecting like that, but that's okay. We can fix that. Okay, so all of the pistons are connected as they should be. Let's go ahead and fill these holes that I made. Okay, so now we need to determine what channels should be where, or what colors should be where. So over here on the first detector tracks, I have the color green. So the first one needs to be green, and the second one needs to be red. So that's how I should do all of these. And I do need, like I said, I need to get rid of these extra redstone blocks. So actually, let's go ahead and do that before I confuse myself. Oh, I already got rid of those. So the away pusher should be green. This one should be red, green, red, green, red. Okay, so the system's almost ready here. We have everything Let's double check to make sure all of them are correct. Oh, this one's not because it is not tracked at all. Okay, so they are correct. Let's go ahead and it's time to test this bad boy out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait here until I see a cart, and then I will be right back once a cart is approaching. And here comes a cart. So when it passes over this first detector track, this track should switch. I totally forgot about that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to say, no, you're not stopping there. No, you're not. No, you're not. You are going. So this track should switch. It did not. Why did it not switch? Okay, let's take a look here. It did not switch. Oh, because I'm a moron. So what happened here is I forgot to connect all these up. So what I need to do is I need to drop this down. And yeah, so yeah, that was dumb. Oh well. So, okay, so now we need to drag this over. Nope. And I screwed that up. Oh well. Okay, so let's actually get rid of these first. I'm gonna have to manually toggle that one track that I accidentally toggled. I'm gonna have to manually toggle it back. So yeah, and then this one needs to be connected up to the second line. I don't think I'm gonna have enough. No, I'm not. Whoops. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to grab some more redstone conduit, and then I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so yet another thing I forgot to do is I forgot to set up these two inputs. They need to be inputs, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's double check everything, and hopefully after I have all of this mess sorted out, everything will work. I'm not sure if I did these or not. I kind of thought I already had all of these done, but maybe I didn't. Anyways, let's grab our wrench, and we need to, yeah, these need to be input. I really thought I already did this, but maybe I didn't. Input. Okay, so hopefully everything is all set up now. So what I've actually done is I've grabbed a couple new carts because I only had 3 carts on the line, but with this toggle system I should be able to put a lot more carts on the line. Let's go ahead and okay, so I heard the piston function as it went past. So that's what you want to hear. Let's go ahead, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an empty cart right here. I'm going to configure the engines like I need them, and then throw in some coal. This should toggle. It did. And just for the sake of seeing if it's all going to work, it should toggle back, and it did. Cool. So I'm going to declare that this system is functional. I really hope it's actually functional. Anyways, there's one more thing I'd like to do real fast, and that is to add another modular storage unit down here. Now the thing is, this system works well with a low volume of items, but it actually doesn't work super well for a high volume. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place a modular storage unit right here. And what's going to happen is that this will not function unless it has redstone signal, but I will put this modular storage unit here, and it will have a monstrous buffer. So let's insert, and then I need some item duct, and I actually need to configure this to not be anything. And then I need to have this be an output, always on with max speed. And so what's essentially going to happen is that not all the time will this be functional. This is where all of the items are initially exported. But once this is functional, it will fill up this buffer. And then this will extract items into the cargo managers itself. Now the thing is, I set that up like so, because these cargo managers don't have a huge buffer, and the carts that I'm creating, they have very, very large inventories. So one thing that could happen, at least in the past, before I set up this system, is that you could actually drain an entire cargo manager and not possibly fill up the cart here. We do want the carts to be full. Hey, that worked out. Why did you derail, sir? Why did you derail? I'm gonna try to re-rail this thing real fast. There we go. Okay, so I'm not quite sure why that derailed. But anyways, it looks like the system's working. Let's throw in some coal after I configure these engines. And let's let this guy go. So hopefully this is completely functional. I think it should be. I think it should work out well. Now let's see if this is actually kind of... See, is kind of emptying, and I don't want that to happen. With that large buffer of the tier 3 storage module on this particular modular storage, we should see that not really happen. So like, for example, I don't think this guy is full. He actually is, because he was the derailed one. Never mind. But anyways, I think we're going to call this a good episode. In today's episode, I managed to set up this switching track. This will allow me to essentially add a bunch more carts to the system and increase my throughput of items with my rail system here, which will be pretty fantastic. I do now have switching stations at each end of my line, so I'm hoping that I can get like 10 or 12 carts on here without them conflicting too much. Since I have 6 lanes at each end of the track, I'm really hoping I can do 10. Anyways, if you enjoyed this episode, give it a like. If you enjoy automation in modded Minecraft, you should probably subscribe to my channel, because that's kind of what I do. Signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.